Yeah. All right, welcome back to one more episode of Relentel. This is your host, Jose Coronado. Sorry, we're still practicing on that. What a day. What a week it's been. Today's Mother's Day, if you guys don't know. And I had a very good time. A very good Sunday. I hope you guys did too. And I want to just touch up on a little bit of that happened. I don't want to go too deep into it because it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because what is done is done. And let me tell you, I'm trying to. This is the part that I hate about it, YouTube, or that I hate about recording. You always want to make sure that you're sitting up straight and that everything's going here. But you know what? Imperfect action gets you to perfect action. The whole thing about this channel is to start no matter what. If you're scared, you start no matter what. If you're lacking in some type of skill, you start. If you are not there yet, right? If you're still trying to read a book or try to get something aligned so it can be aligned with your purpose, just start it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't start it, you're going to regret it. At the end of the day, tomorrow, if it's your last day, you're gonna regret it. Because here's something that reminds me of my time. An hourglass. Some of you know what this hourglass means. It means that once the sand goes all the way down, there's no more time. There's one way I can stop the time, and it's by putting my hourglass like that. I think you can see it. If I put it like this, guess what? I stopped it. What does that mean in the bigger picture? That my life is stopped. And if it's stopped, that means I'm no longer living. I'm no longer here. So you don't want that. This is why time is precious. Time is money. Time is valuable. So with that being said, I'm going to say something. There was a moment that I was trying to get to June 16th because I was going to mark my third year. And I was looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to it because I was done being where I was at. It was just awful. It was too much, and I was like, enough is enough. When something comes in your heart, in your soul, and your mind, when something comes to you, you act upon it. You don't say, wait, let me see if I'm ready. No. There's a book I think that's called it's called Ready, Shoot, Aim. Because you can't, the moment you take, I mean, those who know how to, go to the I don't even know if I can talk about this, but if you know that once you aim, it takes a split second, maybe sometimes even more, depending on what's your target. So here it's saying, at the moment in time, if you have more than one opportunity to get this right, you should take the action to that is need to be done to get to that position, to that place, right? So again, this is all raw. I'm getting a little bit better as we go, but I'm more excited because I'm on a boot camp, and by this was what was nice about the situation that happened. In June 16th, I was gonna do my last day, and I was gonna do it like this. I was gonna go do pre-shift because that's what we do at the beginning of the shift, and I was gonna say I did you guys, I just want to let you guys know that whoever has been here, whoever stayed here till today, it was a pleasure working with y'all, because I got to a point where enough was enough, and I did everything I could. I take that back. I didn't really do everything that I could. I did everything I could to a certain extent, that after I saw that nothing was gonna change, I said, this is not my place. I cannot stay longer here. Why? Because I was giving too much time. I gave almost 3 years of my time. And for what? At the end of the day, I saw exactly where the leadership was. I saw where the situation was going, and I didn't want to be part of it. So I made a decision. I said, I'm going to stick around for a little bit more time and see what I can do and see if I can create a change. If not, I'm getting out of here. And when that day came, I was going to get out. And unfortunately, but fortunately, they booted me ahead of time. Something happened which, was it fair? I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff that we would let, slide. At least I would. I was letting a lot of stuff slide. But that's what happens when you don't have a structure into play that allows you to have a certain discipline or a certain way of doing things, and you have other people doing other things. We cannot get aligned. So with that being said, it was a blessing in disguise that I said, all right, I'm leaving in June, and they said, no, you're leaving in May. So it was yeah. So it was a little earlier, but we had already planned for it, meaning my wife and I, and we were thinking about doing this already, because again, I was tired of being somewhere where I was not celebrated. And I'm not saying that, you want to be celebrated in the biggest ways or biggest forms of celebration. No, it just means that certain times when we were there, when I was where I was at, it was very hard to find myself doing something that mattered. I believe that you always have to do something that outgrows you, that outlives you. For instance, I always wanted to bring a positive vibe to the pre-shift, which is before we start anything. And I did it at times. I would come in with such a good energy, and I think I accomplished half of what I wanted to accomplish, and that was enough for me. The only way you can accomplish this is if you're in a position where you are allowed to grow to your full potential without having to throw people under the bus. And when I say people, I meant like upper management. You don't have to, because when you see that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, then it's a lot easier for you to follow through. But when you see the things that happen, and you're like, man, like, I didn't think it was going to go that way. I thought this was going to be handled, or because numbers are numbers, and at a given time when a company has established a certain amount of money, or a certain place in the society and in the workforce, then they want to be careful, right? They want to be super careful. And then for some reason, for some rich folks, or for some rich companies, they start nickel and diming every single thing. It was crazy. Like I said, I'm only saying this because, again, these are my thoughts. These are what I saw. And this is just strictly what, after termination, after being let go, it was something that I was thinking. I'm like, man, all these things happen, and I was never okay with it. But with that being said, the more I dwell on that, it doesn't bring me joy. It brings me sourness and negativity, because the only reason why I was there is because I was trying to make a difference. And I do believe in some people's lives I made a difference. Very selective. I can probably count with my 5 fingers. That's how many people I can actually say that actually had a positive vibe, or positive what do you call it? Yeah, like it was something that I could stay there for a longer time. But for that reason, I'm well off now. I sleep better. I'm doing all this other stuff. I'm learning other things. Where me and my wife were talking on the car, and she's like, it's crazy how now that you're not at work and you have the time that you want to do what you need to do to move forward, that you're retaining stuff, you're writing stuff down, you're learning things, you're going through modules. And because our goal is to build our own life, our own legacy, our own, later in these YouTube videos, I'll make a little bit of more progress, and I'll know how to structure them to the point that I'll learn how to explain myself. I have a YouTube channel, I have a TikTok channel, I have a Instagram account. I have all these accounts that I'm going to try to put out my purpose on how I went from, and this is something important, because again, using AI, I found out that certain things that I kind of like brushed off, and I knew that wasn't, I forgot that was an actual super valuable thing. It just kind of it went under the rug and I forgot about it. For instance, in California, when I got married with my wife, I was actually, as a man, you're supposed to, get married and get out of the house and create your own family, create your own, your own legacy, you're supposed to be able to provide and conquer. So there's a point in time where I couldn't do that, and I had to ask my mother-in-law, hey, can I go and live with you guys? And that, as a father, it brought some type of I didn't feel so good, but I had to eat my pride, because it was an ego, but at the same time it was a pride of like being a father and wanting to do everything for them. I couldn't do it because it was a little bit expensive. I didn't have skills. I didn't finish, I didn't do anything more than high school. So it was really hard for me to actually start a business or to do something on my own, because I'd never had the capital, and I didn't took advantage of everything that I had and use my time wisely. So with that being said, I was able to overcome it, come here to a different state and buy a house, bring people over and help them, get their life straight, and get married and stuff like that. So it was a very awesome thing that I was able to do. Now I only have one testimony, which I have already talked about this testimony on recent videos, where I gotta reach out. I'm gonna reach out to her this week, yeah, and I'm gonna see if I can get her to give me, some type of letter, which I asked for it one time, but she didn't do it. And again, she's busy. It's nothing that she owes me. I just know that I shared, knowledge and books. Like, for example, right here in the back, I don't know if you can see it, I have, I have magazines, right? So these are two of, like, those are three that I have there, but it's more. I have more, right? And they're success magazines. There's, the Shark Tank. Some people have seen it, some people not. Some are billionaires, some are not. This guy's a really billionaire for sure. So I was showing what I learned from other people and what I was able to learn, so that way I can get from where I was at to where I wanted to be. Because eventually I found out that, she did better. She got to a position where she went from one airline to the other airline, and now she's living her life. She's been able to go to places she never thought she was going to go to. And again, I need to get a very good explanation on how her life's been, on her life, on her bio. I need to get her bio. Well, with that said, again, I'm excited because there's a lot more to come. And I'm not doing it perfect, but I'm doing it consistent from now on. YouTube videos are going to be dropped at least one time a week, and I might do it on Wednesday, most likely. I'll write it down here. I already have it. Wednesday, a video drops every Wednesday. And again, subscribe, comment, follow, and let me know what we can talk about. What if it's in my realm of what I'm learning, I'll go ahead and talk about it. I'll go ahead and give you guys what I know to the best of my ability, because I'm not here for everybody, and I know that I'm not here for everybody, but I'm here for those who need that specific help coming from me, from my story, from my the vulnerability that I had to go through, and I kind of had to suck it up. And that's something that, again, I'm trying to get clear, because some things are not clear. Some things you can't even clear. You're not clear about. Like, we're so programmed from our childhood that when we come to our teenage years or our adult years, we don't remember what happened or what triggered us to the point that it's triggering us till now. Right? And that's something that I needed to learn, and I did, but I still need to dig into certain little things that, again, because of AI, I found out. And there's other ways you can do it. Like, for example, look up the seven whys, seven why deeps, something like that, right? So it starts like this. You ask yourself seven questions, and the questions go like, why? What do you want in life? Okay, I want to be rich. Why do you want to be rich? Well, I want to be rich because I want to buy my cars. Okay, why do you want to buy your cars? Because I like, the cars that I was never able to have when I was small, and I would look at shows and I would see them, and okay, so why do you want to have these cars? Well, it's because I've never had anything that is worthwhile, and I want to see, something. I've grown to love cars. So okay, so why do you grown to love cars? Because so it goes 7. So I have 3 more levels, but I'm just giving you a little brief. Like when you get to the 7th level, it starts getting a little bit more personal, and you start thinking about why do I want a better family? Why do I want to be successful? Why do I want to have a good why do I want to be physically active? Why do I want to do whatever I want to do? Like, why do you want to be the person that you want to be, or why are you that person? And you start getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And once you find out the root of the situation, of the problem, then you can have, if there is a problem, then you can get a solution. So with that being said, again, I'm so excited. I didn't want to go too far. I don't know how much I don't know how far I went, but I'm gonna leave you off with this. A lot is coming, and get ready, because it's gonna be a wild ride. Because with AI, look, if you don't learn how to use it, you're gonna get replaced by it, and I don't want that to happen to you. So please stick with me, learn what I'm learning, remain a student, always sharpen your skills, because you're gonna get replaced with the people that start learning how to use AI to replace you, basically. Because a company is going to say, you know what, I no longer need you. Either we're going to shut down, or I'm going to retire, or I'm going to sell the company. They're going to do a restructure, or AI is going to take your job. So again, don't be scared of AI. Be courageous. Be what's the word? Be like, oh, how do you say it? Like, you're excited. Be excited of what AI is going to bring to the table, because it's brought so many things to the point that now I have like 6 windows open right now. I'm trying to get this AI tool to give me the 2 hour to a little summary, and it's giving me some flashcards and mind maps and things like that, table of contents, stuff like that if I were to do it alone, yeah, right, it would never happen. But thanks to AI, things are happening. So with that being said, I am out of here. On the next one, Wednesday, we'll take out another one. I'm out.